Kauravas and Pandavas are at a competition, shooting competition. There they have participated one by one, and when they have participated one by one, Guru Dronacharya gave only Arjuna to participate in the competition. Why he gave only Arjuna, children? As we have discussed earlier, when the competition is going on, Guru Dronacharya asked few questions to each and every participant. He was not satisfied by anyone. When it's Arjuna's turn, he asked one question to Arjuna, can you see the eye of the bird? Arjuna is the only person who said, I can't see anything except the eye of the bird. Means he was fully concentrated on the goal of him, where he has to shoot. That is his goal, that is his aim, and his full concentration is on the eye of the bird. So coming to our lesson, children, and Guru Dronacharya gave permission to Arjuna to shoot an arrow, and he was successful to reach the aim. Now today, children, we are going to discuss few exercises related to the topic, children. What are the exercises related to the topic? First one, they have given you true or false, children. They have given few statements from the story, and they told us to identify whether they are true or false. Whether they are true or false. See, children, coming to the first statement given to you on page number 46, children, when you are listening the class, take your textbook along with you and sit. Because if you are listening without the textbook, you may get the confusion. Now see the first one. Only the princess and their instructor were at the shooting demonstrated. While reading the chapter, what we have learned, children, who were there at the shooting day? Visitors, parents, and the participants and the instructor. But here in our statement, they have explained you only about the instructor and the prince. So it is the false statement given to you. Coming to the second one, children. Coming to the second statement, the princes were not interested in the shooting. Were not interested in the shooting test. They were not interested, they said. But what we have learned in the story, they were very excited to participate in the shooting. They were very excited. So this is also the false statement, children. Coming to the third one, the teacher asked the pupils to hit any part of the bird. No, the teacher did not ask the students to hit any part. He told to hit on the eye of the bird. So it is also false, children, given to you. Coming to the fourth statement of the textbook, children, the Acharya was very angry with Prince Yudhishthir. Yes, he was very angry because when Dronacharya asked Yudhishthir, can you see the tree? He said yes. Because he was not concentrated on the aim. Just simply he is giving his reply. So it is true. That's why Acharya was very much angry on Yudhishthir. Coming to the fifth statement, Prince Bhimasena did not understand what he had done wrong. See, children, how innocent Bhimasena. We have learned that in the story when Acharya asked a question, he gave reply. He thought his answer is correct. Even though the Acharya did not give chance to Bhimasena to participate in the competition. Bhimasena that time was very uneasy, uncomfortable. He was unable to understand what happened because he was such an innocent that he even did not understand the question asked by Guru Dronacharya. So yes, he was that what he did wrong. He thought that he gave the correct reply. Why Acharya did not give him chance to participate. So yes, children, our fifth answer we can say true. Coming to the sixth one, children. Coming to the sixth one. the competition. What the question was? Can you see the eye of the bird? Arjuna said, yes, I can see the eye of the bird. Can you see me? No, I can't see you. The reply of Arjuna was that. So children, because of the answers of Arjuna, Acharya confirmed that he has full concentration on the aim. That's why he gave permission to Arjuna. He was pleased with the answers of Arjuna. That's why he gave permission to Arjuna. Coming to the eighth statement, the children. Arjuna hit the target because he concentrated on the whole bird. No, it's wrong. As he concentrated on the eye of the bird, he was successful. If he concentrated on the whole bird, he can't shoot properly. He can't shoot properly. When he concentrated on the eye of the bird, then only he was successful to shoot at the eye of the bird. Now see children, few more grammar points are there in this chapter to discuss with you children. One new term has been introduced to you in this chapter, that is collocations. What is the name children? Collocation. What you has been given? Collocations. Very strange word for you. New word, unknown word. It is nothing but a combination of two words. It is combination of two words. See children, it is the combination of two words used in the native language. Used in native English. Means in general English we can use it. Combination of the two words. Collocation is the combination of the two words children. Suppose soft drink, straight line. Okay, these are the few words. And they have given us one interesting match the following to understand the collocations. I'll write few words and then we will match one by one children. First they have given us strong. Second one they have given us heavy. Third one they have given us mild. Okay, fourth one they have given us loud. Fifth one they have given us damp. Sixth one they have given us deep. And in the B Roman, what they have given you? Winter. You have to combine these two columns and you have to write the correct collocation here. You have to give the correct collocation here. Okay. Sleep. Rainfall. Wind. Clothes. Music. Now see children, I will combine each and every word. Easily you can understand. See children, strong wind. Easily you can write. Strong wind. Next one, heavy rainfall. Heavy rainfall. Coming to the third one, mild winter. Mild winter. Coming to the fourth one children, loud music. Loud music. Coming to the fifth one children, damp clothes. Damp clothes. Deep sleep. So in this way children we have completed the collocation. Now is it clear to you Nana? Once recall, collocation is the combination of the two words which has been used in the native English. Means according to our convenience we can use these words. Okay. So don't get confused, and I have given you few words related to the collocation. Means the combination of the two words, and they did not give us whether we have to combine two nouns, whether we have combined one noun and a verb. They did have to, may, can't. Very easy. Can you recall, children, what these are called? Have, may, can. See, in our first chapter we have learned that, children, what are these? Have to, may and can't. If you have remembered, children, have to is have to, may, can or cannot. I'll tell you. Have to is used for necessity and obligation. Necessity, obligation. Whereas may is used for possibility. Whereas may is used for possibility. Whereas can is used for I can. Permission, can. Possibility, sorry children, here possibility and permission, may. Permission also, may is also used to seek the permission. Whereas can and cannot, I can do this work means ability. Ability అంటే నేను చేయగలుగుతాను. And in some situations it is used along with the obligation to denote the obligation also. Okay. So if you see these words, Nana, these are the helping words. Helping verbs which we have learned in the first chapter of introduction of verbs. When we have learned the first chapter in the grammar, verbs has been divided into two parts, main verb and the auxiliary verbs. So these are the auxiliary verbs, and I have explained you the use of the auxiliary verbs, where you have to use have to, where you have to use may, and where you have to use can. Now let us see few statements related to the have to, may and or can or cannot given in your textbook, children. See children, you have to stand on this line in front of you. First statement they have given you, you have to stand. And it's compulsory to stand. It's necessary to stand. You have to stand. Means it is necessary. You can, this situation is necessary. Okay, first one. Second one they gave, sir, may I shoot? Permission. Here, sir, may I shoot? Means I am asking the permission here. Seeking permission. Seeking permission. Here I am asking permission. Okay, coming to the third statement, children. You can't hit the bird. Ability. This is ability. You can't do child. You can't hit or you can hit. It is the ability. So three sentences have been given to you for the clarification, children, where how you can use have to, may, can or cannot. Coming to our page number 49, they have given you B Roman as circle the correct answer. Circle the correct answer. If you see in your textbooks, children, the first statement given to you, if you want to be good at archery, you have to or may have a good aim. You have to have a good aim. You may have a good aim కాదు, మీకు కంపల్సరీ ఉండాలి. నువ్వు ఆర్చరీ కరెక్ట్గా నేర్చుకోవాలి అంటే యూ మే హ్యావ్ ఏ గుడ్ ఎయిమ్. My brother has to or can swim very well. He goes swimming 3 times a week. My brother can swim very well because he goes 3 times for the swimming. May I use your racket? She can't play ice hockey with us. Sixth one, they can't play golf but they are good at basketball. And next exercise they have given you jumbled sentences. You have to frame the correct sentence and you have to use the punctuation marks also. Correct punctuation marks. What do you mean by the punctuation, children? Can anybody know about this, Nana? Punctuations and the entity. What do you mean by punctuations? I will explain about punctuation, then I will conclude. So the given jumbled words should be arranged in a sequence and